All right, this was sent into the channel for a review. It's a thermal camera. I get a lot of use out of thermal cameras. I have quite a few of them. I'll show you them later. This is a new brand, Thermal Master, but it's a rebranded from an older brand. But they've decided to use a new name. The older brands, let's see here, the old brand, let me read one off here. It was xinfrared, xinfrared.com. They still have a website up, but the same design team has done this product. All right, so what is it? It is a thermal camera that plugs onto your cell phone. All right, and we have charging cable and instructions, but the camera is here, a nice little pouch, and this one is the P3. Now, the reason that if you're going to be doing things that I do, which is look for thermal problems on PC boards and things like that, you want a lens that focuses close, okay? And this particular device actually has a focus knob. So this is the type of camera that I would recommend you get. If you're doing things like HVAC work where you're just looking at leakages of thermal things in your house and stuff like that, you don't need this fancy close-up lens, but this is really nice to have it to be able to focus, okay? So this one is USB-C, so I'm going to be using it with an iPhone 15, which has USB-C. You need to go onto the Apple Store and download their software. Once you have your software downloaded on your machine, when you plug in the device, it will automatically recognize, oh, wait a minute, yeah, you want to run your camera, don't you? And so you say it allows it. So it comes up and it runs that program and should come up, and we have live video, okay? So, let's see here. Well, it's a good way to photograph this. Let's just go do what I said we're going to do. We have a circuit here, and we want to take a look at hotspots, okay? And so here's what we're looking at. So this is the focus knob. So you can see that I'm now blurry. Here I'm real blurry. And so we can focus real close. We can probably even focus closer, and focus even closer, and focus even closer. There we go. That's the bottom end of the focus. So we can get in, super, super, super tight. So that is what you want for a bench camera. Okay, there we go. So like all the other cameras, it finds the hottest spot. This one is 45C. It finds the coldest spot. It's over here, 27C. And then there's a middle one that you can aim around. So I'm aiming it at this one over here. It's 36 or 38. This over here is only 29. So you can run around and look at things. Over here we see a real hot thing over here. So what is that on the PC board? It's a diode. I've got power coming in, and it's going through that diode and powering the circuit, so that little diode is getting up to 44C. But you can see that having this close focus is the way you want to go. Now this camera has the highest resolution sensor that I've come across so far. If you look at cameras, a lot of them are like 92 by 92 pixels. You have to be really diligent about reading the datasheet correctly. A lot of times they'll specify the actual resolution of the screen and not the resolution of the actual camera, or they'll up-interpolate the camera. This one is 256 by 192, which is the highest res sensor I know about. I have other cameras that have that sensor as well, so we can compare. Again, maybe against some of those there, but I think you get the idea. This is going to be a really, really nice tool. You can do all of the things. You can set up having the little point in the front, in the middle to measure temperature or not. We can put boxes around things. We can change whether we want a black and white image or other color schemes. Anyway, you know the standard ones that are available. Black is hot, white is hot. You can do picture-in-picture, but it's only going to work really if you have no parallax error. So if we turn picture-in-picture, here's the actual video, but the cameras are completely opposite to one another, so it's not really going to do you much good. All right, so we'll turn that off. All right, so I mean, it's a thermal camera, right? Reviews of these things really comes down to, does it have the resolution that you're looking for, I think, and does it have the dynamic range that you're looking for? All right, let's go ahead and compare it against another camera. Let's remove this one. The best camera in this particular category actually was made by the exact same company, X Infrared. They both of the engineers built both of these products. I don't think they're using this name any longer. I believe that if you go to the Thermal Master website, you can still buy this camera under the other name. All right, and this is a really nice camera. Unfortunately, it has a lightning connector, but I have an adapter cable here that goes from lightning to USB-C. So we can start this up. And we'll allow its program to run. All right, let's see here. All right, so here we've got this little camera, and make sure that I don't get the cord in the way, but you can see it's pretty close to the same thing. I don't really see much difference between the two. This one also is a 256 by 192 sensor. Might be the exact same sensor in the two products, but I think either one of these is fine and dandy. All right, but it has the this one has the focus knob as well. All right, so let's show you some other cameras. All right, other cameras in this category might be oh, I've got a couple of them here. I've got 3 of them in here. I've got this one is lightning connector as well. This is a topped on. It's not a very good camera, so I won't even bother pulling that out. This one is real old. Won't bother pulling that one out. But this one here is fairly decent. But it's made by the same company again, so I think they make some of the best stuff. But this one has a different name on it as well. They've had 3 names as far as I can tell. This one's InfraRay, I-N-F-I-R-A-Y. And this one here, before they had the focusable knob, this one has a macro lens that can go and magnetically couple on top of it, okay? And so let's go ahead and hook it up. We need to do the lightning connector trick to my phone. So we're getting live images out, and let's do the same spots. So this one has a little bit closer lens, so a little bit more magnification. I have the macro lens attached to it, but it is pretty good as well. Maybe not quite the resolution as the other ones, but it's awfully darn good. Let me pull off the macro lens so you get some idea of. See, it's going to be blurry here, but if I back out, then it starts to be, then it starts to work. So at about 5 inches away, it's in focus. But this one comes, like I said, with a little clip-on macro lens. All right. So enough for the other people's cameras. If you're in the market for an infrared camera, there's a couple things you need to think about. One is if you're going to be wanting macro, so get one with a focusable knob. So this one ticks that category. If you want one with a built-in screen, you can get these big jobbers here. Again, they're not going to have macro, but they are self-contained. You can walk around the house with them and stuff. You have your own screen. So you might think about one of these. You know, different people have different ones, different size LCD panels in the back, different resolutions and stuff. I think this one actually has a good resolution. This one, yeah, this one is 256 by 192. This is a Kaiweets. It's pretty good. And then you can get real cheap ones, like the one that's in this multimeter. This is a 92 by 92 sensor. And so just to give you some idea of what you would see with this. I still use this a lot just for quick stuff, just because it's all, I just push the button and it works. I don't have to attach it to my cell phone or whatever. So it is all just up and working. So you can see here, it also can see up close because it has a built-in macro lens that slides over. Not quite as good as the other ones. There we go. I'm getting up kind of close now. But remember, this is only 92 by 92 pixels. But if you get up really, really close, let's go over to like this little diode over here. I mean, you know, it still gets the job done, but certainly not as nice as the 256 by 192 sensors. So anyway. I don't think there's a lot more to say about this particular unit. Again, it was the ThermalMaster P3, and yeah, I definitely recommend it. I like it. So I forgot to mention one thing. I want to make sure you understand. This one unit here works with iOS and Android and PCs and iPads. And so it's USB-C. It'll work on all of those, and it has software for all of those. So you don't have to use it with your cell phone. You can use it with your PC or whatever, and comes with an adapter cable for all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there you go.